Yes, art is always political. And today, with my tea and my art degree, I'm going to tell you why. Welcome to Artist Tea, a series on my channel where I drink tea and spill tea on all things art, complete with research cited down in the description. Now you might be thinking, really, Elizabeth, is all art political? What about abstract art, landscape art, doodle art? Well, hold on to your hats because we're going to get there. But first, let's talk about art that is obviously political. So-called political art generally has a narrative or a message that they're trying to convey. When I think of political art, the first image that comes to mind is the Ruby Bridges painting by Norman Rockwell. I also think about public Black Lives Matter murals like this George Floyd mural. There are countless examples like Picasso's Guernica, Frida Kahlo's depictions of love and disability, Rosie the Riveter, the Obama Hope poster, pride flags, and recently, pro-Palestinian art. The examples are really endless. If you look and see what all these have in common, they all have to do with or are created by marginalized people. Which brings up the question, is the mere existence of marginalized people politicized? But let's circle back to art that isn't obviously political. I'm going to use abstract art as an example because it's my favorite type of art and most people don't think it's political. Abstract artist Sam Gillen said it best. Abstract art messes with you. What you think isn't all. It challenges you to understand that something is different. You can watch Sam's whole interview here on the Louisiana channel. Abstract art doesn't have a clear narrative. It breaks the mold of what you think art is, which in and of itself is resistance. Abstract art evokes a raw emotional reaction. It doesn't tell you what or how to feel. And if you're still not convinced, art is political because it has influence. Hitler and the Nazis would not have burned and seized all genres of art because he wanted to decorate his house. He took art away from the people because of the influential power that art has, politically, socially, culturally, and economically. The Nazis began labeling Cubist, Expressionist, and Impressionist art as degenerate and removed them from their art institutions. This included art by Van Gogh and Matisse. They seized any art they considered valuable, sold many pieces to fund their agenda, and hoarded or burned what they didn't consider valuable. If you want to learn more about this topic, I highly recommend you watch The Monuments Men, which chronicles American soldiers finding and returning art to their rightful owners during the fall of the Nazi regime. Now, back to abstract art. Abstract art began appearing in the late 1800s and early 1900s as a way to reject classism, romanticism, impressionism. In other words, art that was born out of rebellion to the art at the time. In the early 1940s, a new kind of abstract art emerged, abstract expressionism, which I am heavily inspired by. This includes people like Rothko, Kandinsky, de Kooning, Klein, and Joan Mitchell. Abstract expressionists' goals were to break away from convention, create authentic and soul-bearing art, and express their concerns in a war-torn and post-war world. Abstract expressionists were inspired by primitive art and wanted to create intuitive, free-flowing, and pure expressions of the self and the collective psyche. All of that sounds pretty political to me. Now you might be thinking, okay, Elizabeth, I see your point, but how does this apply to me? How are the doodles in my sketchbook political? The art that I make that no one sees, or the art that I make that doesn't sell. Human beings have an innate need to express themselves, whether that's through art, music, dance, film, cooking. The list is endless. Life is so expansive and we experience so much. We have to have a way to process these things, to express these things. That's why we create. We create to deal with all of the wonderful, beautiful, horrible, and hard things that happen simply because we're alive. Art fuels us, connects us, inspires us, and leaves imprints on us as a society and as individuals. You can check out this TED Talk if you're looking for more creative inspiration. Creativity is a part of being human, but what happens when you live in a society that only values you for the profits that you can make and not for your joy and creativity? Capitalism squashes personal expression through its incessant need to make more and more money. So when you take the time to make art for yourself, even for just a minute or an hour, you are engaging in protest. In a society that puts profit over people, creating for yourself is a radical act of resistance. Your art doesn't have to make money, be hanging in the Louvre, or be praised by a critic to be valuable to you. If creating that art felt good, if it helped you process or connect with others, then it is valuable. So, make imperfect art, dance like nobody is watching, and fling paint at a canvas. The very act of creating for yourself is political. If you like this video, you can like and subscribe below. And you can also check out my website, CunniffCreations.com, for this mug and more. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!